Say something.
Hey, strong marriage.
What the?
He has a drink on the couch. He's fired.
I know, isn't that terrible?
Okay.
It says, speak those things that not as though they were. And I'm speaking that I have a drink right now. You want to turn it sideways?
I don't. Facebook won't go sideways.
No,
Let's
like that.
No, Facebook won't do that. Well.
You can't go back further.
No. Unless I take it back this way and we sit here.
It's already live?
Yes. Hey, Strong Marriage. We have special guests today, so we're trying to figure out how we're going to maneuver and get our guest on camera as well.
That way.
That way?
Go,
Which way?
That way, and then we'll just go this way. Take it back.
We sit here? The floor was right here? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So. Okay. You talk.
I'm saying words. Words are beautiful things. A rose by any other name is still a rose. Does it not smell as sweet? Is it not as beautiful? A Capulet. A butt. A butt is a wonderful thing. I love a butt.
Yeah.
I love my wife's butt.
All right, Strong Marriage. Bear with us. We thank you for having us. Okay, right here, this section here.
Alexa, turn on light. Liver.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, have a seat. Right in. We're going to sit in that L shape there.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
A little bit more to the left, right? Right there. Hey, perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Yay! Awesome. We are almost all here.
Yeah. Yes, we're good.
More?
Yes, you definitely need some.
All right, Daddy-O.
Perfect.
All right, we did it. Hey, Strong Marriage, we're excited that you are with us. If you are a replay watcher, thank you so much. Welcome to Strong Marriage to all of the new members. We are so glad that you have joined us. And we're going to yell to make sure that you hear us all the way across the room. But we are excited that you are here at Strong Marriage. So we have an exciting announcement. Two, actually. Of course, you see the first exciting announcement. My babies are here. I'd like to introduce to you all Mr. and Mrs. Ray. And they are my babies, our babies. And I'm so excited because today we're going to be talking about the first years of marriage. Oh. Yeah, so this is good. We want to talk about the problems and the solutions and help you out. We're still going to keep you for about 30 minutes, so it's not too heavy, but just some nuggets for you to be able to have a better and more successful marriage. And even if you're not married, stay tuned, because guess what? If you're single, this is the best time to be watching this broadcast because you would have the tools that are needed in order to have the successful marriage when you do get married. I think I can speak for myself or for them when I say that that's why they are having such a awesome time in their marriage. And so I'll let them talk a little bit more about that. So if you are new, I am Tenisha Collins. I am the founder of this group, and this is my handsome husband.
I am Chris Collins, Coach Collins. I am the business portion of this lovely marriage and the ultimate business coach.
Yes. And the point and the mission and vision of this group is so that people can see Jesus in you and in your relationship. And so, like I said, today we're going to talk about the first years of marriage. And our special guests today have been, thank you, baby. Our special guests today have been, have been married for 1 year. Let's give it up. Yay! married 1 year, and so they're going to help us remember and talk about how to have a successful marriage in those first years. Because let's face it, the first year for us was what?
Rough.
Yes. It was awful, is what it was.
It wasn't totally awful, but
it was awful.
It was a challenge. Yeah.
He's so sweet. It was awful.
It was a challenge.
It was hell. It was awful.
I was having postmenopausal.
Menopausal. Yes, that's how awful it was. It was menopausal.
Post-birth emotions and hormones kicking in.
It was a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things that can make the first year of marriage hard, and we're going to talk about the top 3. I'm going to give you those 3 things first, and then we're just going to discuss.
Well, first let's have them introduce themselves.
Oh. Yes.
That way we know who they are, what they do, and where they are.
Okay.
Reginald, you can go first.
My name is Reginald Ray Jr., better known as RJ Ray, and this is my wife.
I'm Faith Ray. Just changed my name legally on 2 things, so far so good.
Anything else about yourself? Anything else you want to?
I live in Kimber, California.
Yeah,
with my
you got to be
wife.
so specific.
Right. Yeah.
Don't give them your address.
Just
Right.
kidding.
It's
I
so
live in
hard.
Westlake.
Just an overview how you are. You're aspiring to become a pastor,
Yes.
preach.
I'm a minister. I go to Simply House Church of Prayer in Oxnard, California. For my 9 to 5, I work at a warehouse. I've been blessed to do a Bible study, and I've also been blessed. I have 6 parents. My in-laws, I have my mother and father, and they both remarried. So it's good to have more than one example. But I've been blessed to have 3. So.
Amen.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's good.
That was good. Yeah, I don't even know what to say now. I am a future first lady. Yes, ma'am. I used to be an assistant manager at a clothing store, but now I moved on to food. And I have 6 parents as well. One example. And then his other 2 parents.
And I want everybody to speak up louder.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Kind of yell to
Okay.
make sure we get to the
project.
camera.
Very true.
Yes.
So we're excited to have the Rays with us today. I mean, we are super excited. If you have seen us all weekend, we were like, our kids are here. But we're excited for you, Strong Marriage, because you get to see firsthand what a successful 1-year marriage looks like. And I'm not just saying successful because they're our children, but successful in how they have dealt with things that come their way. Because let's face it, life is going to life. And the way you decide to handle
life is gonna life.
It's gonna life.
Life is gonna life.
The way you decide to handle that is, that will determine whether or not you are successful. So the most common 3 problems that first years of marriage face are unmet or unrealistic expectations. This is big. Number 2, finances. And number 3, low sex drive or sexless marriages. So that's the 3 things we're going to talk about today.
Unequal.
Ooh, yeah, unequal sex drives and all that good stuff. So first of all, we're gonna get real personal today. Okay, y'all. Did y'all face any of those problems?
Wow.
RJ, you can always answer these first. You were the leader
Okay, and I'm gonna say
of
this
the household.
as a
Very
general:
biblical.
when you're talking in public, keep it simple.
Yes.
Keep it as an overview.
Yes.
Don't get too specific when you're in a group setting. When you're in a coaching session, then you can open up and talk a little bit more in depth. All right. So keep this as simple overview of everything, and go.
We faced all 3, but I will say the finances honestly was the most successful spiritually. Didn't really, personally, I didn't feel have a big effect. And honestly, to today still doesn't. but to me, the other two were the most profound effect on the first year and how it went.
Okay. So you see here that these things is not something we made up, but they are the top 3 things in the first 5 years of marriage that can make or break you. So when we talk about unmet expectations, we want to define that for you so that we're all on the same page and everyone knows what we're talking about. So unmet expectations are when you silently place an expectation on your partner. They don't even know that you are expecting something of them. You just have these ideas in your mind because 2 people are coming together to become one, and you have to blend your life. And you have a certain way of doing things, and you have expectations of what someone in a relationship will do for you, to you, around you, through you. All those expectations are just there. They're silent and they're there. Unrealistic expectations are expectations where now you have kind of like an idea of the person that you are with, that you have chosen to be with. And you maybe have a bigger imagination or a bigger mind or bigger aspirations than your partner. And you just let them get unrealistically large and then place that burden upon their shoulders. Most of this is not even spoken. It's just a thought in your head. It's the way you believe. It's part of your belief system. And that's why it's so important to have discussions and conversations because, hey, your partner wants to know what you're thinking, what you expect. Your partner said I do because they actually want to please you. They actually like you and want to be with you and want it to work. No one goes into marriage and says, you know what, I'm just in it for 3 years. I'm just in it for 10 years. No one does that. Everyone goes in saying, yes, I do. So the way you keep the I do is you have to choose it every day. You have to have discussions daily. You have to share your life, and that is how you become one. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about unmet expectations and unrealistic expectations. They're unmet because these expectations are not even discussed. They're not verbalized. And if they are, they're not then discussed further. You just can't say, hey, I expect you to, have an entirely clean house and go to work and raise the kids and something else.
Segue?
Yeah, there we go.
We're gonna
Segue. So there you go. You can't just do that and then not have a discussion and say, okay, I understand your expectations, but at the current point I'm in right now, the person that you're looking at, maybe I can handle one of those. Maybe I can handle 2 of those. But I don't think, I know for sure we can't do all 4 of those things right now, this present moment. Because I know that is the expectation, that's what you want, that would please you. I'm going to commit to working towards that because we're working together. We're on the same team. And that's basically how you start that conversation of these unmet, or make these expectations something that's verbal and something that you can get to. So if you can, guys, give us one example of, or give us the overview of how you solved one of these issues.
Or I just worked on. Or
Yes. How did you work through it?
Or work on it.
Mm-hmm. How are you currently working on it?
Let's go with finances. That's one of the big things that does a lot of couples.
RJ?
I love her. I think RJ said it wasn't a big
lesser.
Yeah, it was a lesser.
So you want to start with relationships?
I think we should do sex drive.
Sex drive.
That's the one I was trying to avoid.
Yes.
I think she could talk about that one.
Oh man. Honestly, strong marriage, I'm a little uncomfortable. Oh my.
We can talk about it?
We could talk about, If
We
you
can talk
both,
about it.
if you both feel
Oh,
that
very
you want
true.
to talk about it now,
I don't need to make a decision.
then
for...
no, we can table that, and then we can talk about ours. But what was the second one? It was
It's a relationship.
Expectations, finances, and low sex drive.
all right. So let's talk about expectations.
That one's
Expectations
easy for me.
with friends, expectations with other girls, other guys, expectations, and how you handle yourself in public versus how you handle yourself at home.
That's very
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Oh, okay.
Just
Actually,
speak louder though.
you can go first, and then I'll go in second.
Oh, man. Okay, you go first on the next one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just talk to each other.
I love these two.
Yeah, just talk to each other. It's easier. That way you're not looking
Okay.
towards the
Well,
screen.
you gotta talk loud.
Yeah, just sit back.
Well, when Faith and I started dating, oh my goodness, man, I'm coming off of, you can call it dang near unbelief in God, but for sure, extreme backsliding. So I'm coming off of that, and I meet Faith, and so I'm platonic friends with women. I go out to clubs and bars, and I'm putting myself in situations that is going to affect my girlfriend at the time. And my wife is coming from a place where she's like, I barely have any friends, and you have all these people, and some of them are women. So like over time, like, you know, they start to trickle out, and then, you know, we get married, and then it's way bigger than me at this point, because now it's not just affecting me. Now it's affecting both of us, and I can't just go home to my house. I'm going home to my wife. So I have to learn, and mind you, I'm thinking that the way I live my life, I'm not doing anything wrong. But my wife had to show me it's not just your life anymore. I'm a part of it. So I had to learn ways I could respect my relationship, and then respect my marriage. And then also what we had to work through was my wife being able to trust me in certain situations, such as if she sees me in a situation with a woman that she knows, and she's looking at how I act, she may be thinking, why did you do this? And personally for me, that might just be the way I am. So now we're in this area where we're trying to figure out, you know, our boundaries. So, you know, we've had to continually work on boundaries, continually work on trust. And I think when it comes to friends also, I also had to realize it's easier to not even put yourself in a situation versus trying to be a quote unquote, I guess, friendly person to everybody.
Right.
So, you know, there's a difference between a man being friendly or just being dumb. So, you know, I had to really, you know, deal with a lot of internal insecurities. Of course, when it comes to like not being trusted at times. So, and I take things personally. So I had to really sit with myself, not take things as personal, and had to work on the way I carry myself. So, yeah, I guess that's a good start.
Okay, yeah, like he said, when we first got together, I was coming from a place that I was not looking for a relationship, and so I opened myself up to someone, and he was my first official boyfriend. I'm his first official girlfriend, so it was a lot of changes, obviously, especially going into marriage. But in the beginning, yeah, he was friends with a lot of women, and me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of boy-girl relationships. I don't really believe in them. So it was hard for me to accept that or be okay with that, especially if it like comes with the past, with the women he was friends with.
So what helped you?
There you go.
What did you do to help you move past the, because obviously you don't have a bunch of female friends now.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? What propelled you guys into, hey, we're now together and there's going to be a different path. So you both came in with expectations. You were expecting, I'm keeping my friends, and you were expecting, you ain't having any friends. So how did y'all meet in the middle?
I think it was the Lord. It definitely was God. It obviously was a change in my lifestyle personally. But then I think it's also good to note that like I'm kind of extreme. So like I go from worldly to Christian. And so like then that becomes an adjustment for the both of us. So now like my wife goes from, oh, you want to be the rapper to now you want to be a pastor. And it's just like halfway through us dating. So it was God who took me out of the situation. So once I stopped going to certain places, that's when I didn't have to see anybody anymore. Unless my wife likes joking me, oh, well, what she says, see my name, she says the hoes come back to say happy birthday.
They love them birthday.
Right?
But, I don't see people like that. But then I think when it comes to like maybe family friends or people I've known from church, that's when trust really comes in. And sometimes it gets really interesting when you are going to see these people. Not all the time, but you will see them. So that kind of that transition happens, but then now it's kind of more of setting boundaries for future.
Right.
So that's what we're currently working on.
Yeah.
So how did you recognize what his triggers were, and how did you recognize what her triggers were?
The first couple months.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk about it? Did you say, "Oh, this bothers me," or how did it come around?
Well, she's got very angry.
Yeah, I was not the most emotionally intelligent at the time, and when I get angry, I got angry. I was like, "Oh, well, you did that. I can be chill." But then when we're alone or something, I know.
Yeah.
And then I get a little turned, So when it first happened, it was eye-opening in our relationship, I feel like, because I was uncomfortable because there was not boundaries set with friends. And with that conversation, even though it was hard, we were able to set boundaries. So no phone calls past a certain time, no messaging 24/7, just not being as close to the opposite.
Can you park it there? Because I think that was a really good point.
Yeah.
Because I think I didn't realize some of my friendships were like very intimate.
Yeah.
And they were like mentally and emotionally and almost spiritually connecting. And the only thing that was missing from some of my friendships with women in my life before were the physical aspect.
Right.
So me thinking, relationship with my mother and my sisters, that's how it was for me. Like extremely close with my mother and my sisters. And it's a mental, emotional, and spiritual connection we all have, with God, with us being able to emotionally express ourselves to each other, and us talking about what we're mentally going through. That's what we do at the table. I mean, dinner is about 5 hours. We eat for about 30 minutes, and we just talk for about 3-4 hours. So this is something that always happens. So when I go into the world, into life, that's just how I carry myself. But it got me in trouble when, I had to be loyal to one person. And I had to realize, whoa, this is way more intimate. So I'm in a relationship. I'm getting a phone call at 12 o'clock at night. my wife's about to slap me up. And I'm like, what's the problem? This is my friend. And it's like, Negro.
I'm your
That's-
girlfriend.
Right.
She's not
Yeah.
your girlfriend.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I had to realize some things. And, you know, looking back, now it's like, oh my gosh, because I don't even get calls. I don't even answer some of my boys' calls. I'm like, no, I'm not going to answer the phone. And unless God tells me, you should answer that call.
Right.
But most of the time, I'm like, after 10 o'clock, like, don't be calling me.
Right.
I'm trying to go to bed.
Right.
But before, you know, I'm working at nighttime.
Mhm.
I'm used to being up late.
Lives.
So, yeah.
Like, social.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then are your friends still there? Do you still have the same friends that you had before? Or did they kind of fall away?
I have different friends now, but they were never men. But the friends that I did have, they were single. And I also don't like to do single activities when I'm in a relationship.
Right.
So I feel like that's important as well. And we didn't break up because they were single, but we just drifted away because we're on different paths.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's important to recognize that when you do get married, you can't always have those single folk because they have a single mindset. And your mindset has to change to a we mindset. That, I think, along with the Lord, because the Lord is all about others, and when we change our mindset to match that, that's where the power and the seeds for success come. You have to change your mentality, the way you think, and it's about us. Everything you do is about us. My decisions affect us. My finances will affect us. The way I think about a certain thing will affect us. So I hear that this is what they're realizing, that, hey, we are a unit, and now I have to change my expectations. I have to create boundaries that are going to protect the us. I have to do things and not go places, or go places, or say things or not say things that benefit the unit. And on top of that, we're doing the same thing to glorify God, because our lives are meant to glorify God. Everything, the marriage, our jobs, our businesses, everything we do is to glorify God. So we cannot forget that, hey, I belong to Jesus. Maybe you're in the group and you're like, well, I don't subscribe to Jesus. I'm telling you, his principles will still work. They work no matter if you believe they work or not, they work. So, and since it's a wonderful week today, it's Holy Week, and I want to go ahead and invite you, if you are in this group and you do not know Jesus, I want to introduce you to my best friend and the one who has given his life for you. He has loved you so much that he has given all. He's paid the price to give you a relationship with the Most High God. And if you want to meet him today, go ahead and put something in the comments or send me a DM, and I'll be sure to introduce you to him. Hey guys, guess what? Woo! 30 minutes is gone. It is gone. This is all that we have for this week, and it was super, super good. I want to give an extra special thanks to my babies. I'll call them, they can be 80 years old, they're still going to be my babies. But I am so glad they were here. Next week, we will talk about sex and bring back this special couple. If they have time.
Right.
Maybe. So if they have time, we'll have them with us again next week, and we'll talk about sex. And this was wonderful to have our babies with us to help you to see how you can have a successful, godly marriage in year 1.
Different perspective.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.